This is why you came back from France, isn't it? To make yourself available again, eligible again to play for England on days like this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's special playing for England always, and to beat Wales at home is amazing.
And to score a first half hat-trick?
Yeah, it's not bad. They were probably tap-ins, but a hat-trick's a hat-trick. So,
not what Johnny said. Johnny actually said you made it look even. Yeah, bigged you up. Yes. What about the overall performance of the team? What would you say?
Happy, obviously. Like a win here and a win in Six Nations start off is great for the campaign. Probably a bit of frustration. We left some points out there, but I think if we want to be the best team in the world, we've got to set high standards, and it's exciting. It's exciting. We've got next week to try and back it up.
Absolutely have. Johnny, what would you like to say? You've been there, done it, got the T-shirt.
Well, do you know what? I want to ask a little bit as a winger. Scoring tries, right? I didn't score many. I want to know how important is actually putting the ball down for you versus, how much does that feature in having a good game versus actually getting it over the line? Because you often hear people saying, oh, I've had a bit of a drought, I haven't scored many, but you might be playing awesome. But how nice is it to get over the line? How much does that matter?
Yeah, I think you've got to have that hunger in you, I think, if you're going to be a winger. There's a bit of ego that comes with who's got the most tries. But, of course. Yeah, like I've definitely learned over the years that when the ball's not coming, like, you've got to find ways to get into the game, whether that be the kick chase now with how the rules have changed, and that stuff in my game I'm still trying to develop and work on the defensive side. You miss a couple tackles and it's like, you can't really, match that with tries, and you have to make those hits. And it's good, like, scoring is amazing, but you've got to be an all-round player if you want to be in the best team in the world.
I hear.
I was going to ask Henry, how important is that kick chase? Because it looked today like you guys put a little bit more width on the game, and obviously when you got yourselves on the front foot, but how important is finding different ways to win in this England team at the minute?
Yeah, I think we speak a lot about being adaptable. I think there's a risk you can die by your sword on one game plan, and I think kick variety is, you'd understand, like, you can get stuck in a box kick battle and it's pretty boring for everyone to watch and sometimes pretty boring to play. But I think if you have kicking variety and win the ball back, shift it, kick to a corner, that puts teams under a lot of pressure, and that's what we try and do.
They've done the serious stuff. A couple of fun ones for me. 1 rep max squat.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? We're doing
big
this
legs,
on
mate,
live
big
TV.
power. Over 200.
Yeah,
easy.
exactly. Yeah.
The third try you scored where you gassed, you had to use a gas. Who would be least likely in our group to score that try out of the three of us?
Oh, mate, look.
Great answer. Well done.
Can I bring it back to serious whilst we've got it?
Sorry, John.
Just very briefly. Crossfield kicks nowadays, they are 4, 5, 6, 7 a game.
Yeah.
In my day, you'd have it set up, you'd be on the winger on the touchline, sure, but they wouldn't really happen. Nowadays, it's as good as a pass. What are you thinking constantly? And are you signalling that? Are you looking when you get that space? Are you expecting that as much as you're expecting a pass?
Yeah, I think there's a connection within that. I think there's a risk that you're jumping, screaming up and down, and it's really obvious for the 15 who's defending you. So I think it's more important having that subtle connection between 10 or 12 and winger.
So for this, are you looking to speak to the 10 a lot? So you're starting to see the same
in the
picture?
week. Yeah, we speak in the week, but like in games, I'm kind of saying to 40, I'm just going to lock eyes with you, and if you see it, I'm ready for it. So I think that's the connection that's important, especially when you've got 82,000 people screaming their heads off. Like, they're not going to hear you.
Yeah,
it's that eye contact and just feel.
Yeah, and how much of it are you doing in practice? Are you actually hitting kicks?
Yeah, we do a lot. Yeah, we do a lot.
Beautiful.
Johnny, thank you for the serious stuff. Thank you for the light-hearted stuff. I didn't really understand the question, I've got to be honest. Henry, good luck next week. That is going to be massive in Edinburgh.
Can't wait.
It's a try bonus point win to start off the campaign. You must be really happy with the performance today.
Yeah, obviously delighted with the result. By and large, I thought the performance was good. Still a tad bit of frustration in that as well, particularly the first 20 minutes of the second half. But yeah, we wanted to start with a good result, a decent performance. We did that.
A lot of the damage was done in the opening 20 minutes, and a lot of it came from the territory game, which comes down to you. How is it important to execute that, to make sure that you're on the front foot and you start the game well?
Yeah, the start of the test match is always massive. First 10, 15, 20 minutes. I think tactically to give you a foothold in the game and put your stamp on it a little bit. So, yeah, I thought the boys did that well. I mean, we were able to dominate territory because of the boys up front, to be honest with you. So they did a brilliant effort there.
Watching as the game progresses, there seems to be so much confidence and belief in what you're doing now. How good is that a place to be in as this squad looks to build through the tournament?
Yeah, we're just trying to put bits of our game together and understand that we want a really good defence, kicking game, set piece, all to give us attacking opportunities. So, the more attacking opportunities we create, hopefully the more we take as well, which is obviously the next layer for us. I think we probably left a few out there today.
Well, you extend the winning run to 12 games and you get to take it away to Murrayfield next weekend. Going to be tough, but you must be looking forward to that one.
Yeah, it's always tough. We're obviously taking each game as it comes, so we'll review this. Look forward to next week. We always love going up there, so yeah, we'll give it our best shot.
Well, George, congratulations. You are today's Guinness Men's Six Nations Player of the Match.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Jamie, 7 tries and a winning performance to get your campaign underway. What are your thoughts on the performance today?
Oh, just like a huge amount of pride, really. You know, we had a good couple of weeks build-up. We knew what sort of emotion was going to come out of the Wales camp, but you know, I thought we really focused on ourselves today, and you know, we were the team that we wanted to be on the whole.
How important was that opening quarter in setting the tone? Because you pretty much put yourselves in a great position to win from there. Yeah,
like, you know, I think it's always interesting, the first game of a tournament like this. You want to go out, you want to set the stall out, you want to show what sort of team you want to be. And you know, there's been a lot of talk about us over the last 12 months. Like, we're the sort of team that, you know, obviously you want to try and bring a bit of momentum into it, but at the same time, you know, we're starting new. We want to try and show exactly what we want to be about. We want to push and keep getting better, and that's what we've done over the last couple of weeks, and we'll continue to do that.
Yeah, and you've got another big game to look forward to next weekend. What improvements do you think you can make off a game where you score 43 points?
There's always plenty to learn. I think, you know, you learn from what you did well. You learn from maybe what you did not so well. We gave a lot of penalties away. I think, you know, when you get into a lead like that, you know, probably giving penalties away, letting teams back in, you know, we probably did that for a stage in that second half in particular. So, plenty to learn.
Well, Jamie, it's a winning start, and we look forward to seeing you next weekend.
Thank you very much.
7 tries and a 48-7 win back at home at the Allianz. Must be really happy with the way your team have started this year's Six Nations.
Absolutely, and I think the supporters enjoyed it as well. It was brilliant to be here at Allianz Stadium, and I'm sure there's millions of people at home watching it on TV. I thought what pleased us in particular was the start of the game, the intensity the team brought at the start of the game, the focus they had, the approach they had. And I think secondly, what was really pleasing was the defence, and that we know what pace Wales have in their backline, pace they have on edges, and I thought we did a really good job to shut that down.
Yeah, the opening quarter seemed to be where you won the game. How important is it having someone like George Ford to make sure that when you've got a plan that you can execute it perfectly?
Well, I think he's a wonderful rugby player, and I've said many times before, I think many years from now when he decides to start coaching, I think he's going to be a brilliant coach. I think he'll coach England one day, and I think we're also blessed to have so many great senior players. I thought the team was really well led from the start by Jamie George, and we could carry on listing the leaders in the team, which is a very we're very fortunate to have such great players.
And we got to see a cameo from Ben Earl in the centres for 15 minutes. We've seen him there before, but the ability to have players that can adapt is testament to the depth that you've got in your squad at the minute.
Certainly, and I really like players who have positional versatility. It's super important having that ability to adapt and amend to wherever situations occur. I also think with the number of great back rowers we have, it's another way of having these great back rowers on the pitch together.
The game was won quite comfortably, but any slight frustration in that middle third where perhaps Wales just managed to think they might have a chance of getting back in the game?
Yeah, I think ultimately, what we'd probably come away from this game and say the kicking game was strong. I think we'd probably say the set piece was strong for the most part. I think we'd say defensive were excellent, generally excellent. And I think we would say we created a load of opportunities, which is brilliant. I think we'd probably then say, so that tells you the game's in a good shape. What we'd probably then say is you've got to be a lot more ruthless with the opportunities, I think, and we let the pace of our attack drop late on, which, again, I'd like that intensity, that speed to remain higher than it did.
Well, still 12 wins in a row, a squad full of confidence and belief, and you get to go to Murrayfield next to try and win for the first time in 6 years. How big a challenge is that? How much do you look forward to it?
Yeah, well, I think that what's gone before, you talk about number of games, it's actually irrelevant. All that matters is that we deliver the performance we want next weekend in the next international for England.
Well, good luck, Steve. We'll see you in Scotland.
Thank you.